Hey guys, new year, new top plates, and that means we're going to be doing a little introductory sale. These top plates have been a great topic since they showed up on the Fray approved list, and they're finally here. There's two options. We have full rail versions, and then we have pre-cut rails. Grab this one so you can get a better zoom in. It's got about a 10 thou lip there, so that way your oil stays on the top plate, but lightens the top plate up. The top plates do line up better in the Wizz-Jet chassis, which I will show you. Also, the material is a little different than the tub, so the colors are a little bit different. It's hard to get them to completely match because it's a different type of materials. You can see the red's a little different, the turquoise a little different. We also have three new colors. There's a navy, an army green, and we're going to call this a copper brown. There's also the green, the regular blue, and the pink. Somehow FedEx is lost in shipping. No surprise there. So we're still waiting on those. Not sure when they'll show up. If they'll show up, if they'll have to get repulled, we will see. So the new top plates, we'll grab this blue one. Let's turn off. We'll grab this turquoise one. I've got a red chassis here. You sit right down in there, nice and easy. I'll take an 063 pin, slide it through here. I'll take 64. Slide it through there. The bottom hole in the chassis are still a little tighter. And then the top plate. We're only redoing the top plate for now. Let's see about the tub in the future, about maybe, doing some things there. We will see. So with just those two things in, top plate has no tilt. I do have a cold, so I have a cough drop in case you hear me. One of the main things that used to happen when you would put all the axles in is that it could three-wheel the chassis a little bit. So we're gonna put these axles in here like so. We're gonna slide this one back to the armature hole. We're gonna slide a smaller one into the back hole like so. And we still don't three-wheel at all. Let me this up on the screen. We still don't three-wheel at all. That was one thing that used to happen sometimes with the old plates, is when you line different, they were having trouble, especially with the back hole. And this still, see, this slides nice and free. Trying to get, see, the slide's nice and free on there. So, we should be able to use the back hole now in the chassis. And we should be able to, everybody who didn't like the fact that we suggested not using the back hole should now be happier. So that's one of the main things. The new so basically the standard rails will come with all new Wizz-Jets. We're just gonna pop these in with the color chassis. Obviously, the green and the blue and the pink. Right now, we don't have them, but they will be getting replaced with such top plate when they come in. So the introductory sale is going to be you can buy an entire Wizz-Jet with a gray tub with any of these top plate combinations. Whether you want the rails cut, uncut, any color. There's yellow here. It's kind of hard to see in the camera. It's still the same canary yellow. The orange is a little brighter as well. It's actually a more solid orange. I actually like it a little better. So anyway, $11, you get an entire Wizz-Jet tub with whatever top plate you want. Gray tub, any color top plate, any type of top plate, whether it's cut or uncut. The regular plates are going to be $3. These cut plates are normally going to be $3.50. So you're saving $1.50 on a plate, and you're saving $1, with those. So a couple notes here. The pads on the plate. So the pads on the plate are a little taller, so that way we won't get a rub on the chassis or on the top plate from the gear in case a gear is on crooked. That's one thing that was requested. There's also a little more room for the 9-tooth. We cut that tab in the back down a little bit, so this has been trimmed a little bit. Okay. And here are the weights of the top plates. Stock Aurora with a G top plate, stock Wizz-Jet, the old Wizz-Jet top plate, the new full railed Wizz-Jet top plate, and the new cut rail top plate. Since we've made this material just like Aurora in weight, we've lost a lot of weight. It's it's a state-of-the-art material. It's great. We just have a little bit of texture on there to help hold oil. We were doing a couple of different things trying to find out what exactly we could do. So here are the weights. So, now that you've seen the weights, which are mighty cool, that we're as light as Aurora. The one reason why guys are running Aurora plates was because of the weight. However, there's some new things. Every time you change something, so there's a little tiny bit of wiggle in the back. I don't like wiggle in the back, but if I go after the 3 to 5 thou that's back there, they're more likely gonna, they might hit it, or they might mess it up. The top plate's so good, I didn't want to do that. So what I will tell you to do to get rid of this wiggle, you want to kind of, I'll put 2 rods in here and try and get it on camera. What I would show you, what I would do. So what I would do, you can get both rods on the screen there. So you can push this. It's harder to see on a camera than in real life, I guess. So you can line it up to where you can see both rods are parallel in your vision, right? So you can see both those rods are straight, and then you can lean one a little bit and see which direction it leans. You kind of get it there. See how you can push it that way and it makes it not line up? So you want to make sure you move those tabs out a little bit and make that line up. The way I would do that is I would take a cup of hot water, really hot water, doesn't need to be boiling, and just dunk the top plate in there for about 5 seconds and get those tabs hot so that way they're malleable. It means they can be bent easier. Some people don't know what the word means. And you're less likely to snap them off. That was the same thing with the original Wizz-Jet top plate. I would always recommend people putting it in hot water before trying to mess around with the tabs. So you can get that a little tighter. It is a little tighter in the front. It lines up better, like it doesn't wiggle in the front of this chassis. Some chassis, there's always tolerances with chassis. There's more wiggle in some, there's less wiggle in some. That's why I can't definitively, without machining every single chassis and top plate, we can't guarantee a perfect fit every time. We try to do the best we can. And if you overbend these points and you make it too tight, that can cause a 3-wheel because it puts pressure on this, which will then affect the axle hole, which will tilt it, which will then create a 3-wheel. So, we just gotta, you gotta be careful, you gotta be mindful, but when you're trying to do the perfect thing, there's always going to be some tolerances. Some other notes: the post is the same size, is just a slightly touch higher than the idler gear. The original Wizz-Jet top plate post was a little taller. That's for 2 reasons. One, this really helps the clip. We actually, so the rails are a little slightly lower, so it actually helps the clip, so that way we hopefully don't have to adjust the clips. However, there was a point of concern brought up with, well, if that happens, is the gear going to ride up and hit the clip? If you think that's going to be a problem, you may need to dimple your clip right there to pull it away, so that way you lean on that and pull it up. The way I would tell you to peen the idler gear is I would peen it using RT's tool for the gear itself. Peen it so that way, use the brass with the screw that he's got in his tool. Use that and then come in with the idler post expanding tool to then create a curve. So in essence you would, so basically right now you've got a post and you've got a gear. This is the gear, the inside of the gear. So the gear will get beveled like this a little bit with RT's peening screw. And then what you would do is you would come in with the expanding tool, put the point in there, and then this is going to pull this up, which is going to help hold, which is going to do this, which is going to help hold this gear down on this beveled edge, while still making it so you can get them off. A lot of times whenever you bevel a bigger, like the old top plate, when this post is bigger, you can then no longer get the gear off, and that creates some problems. So I think that's one thing, I think a lot of guys don't understand. They're still, the brand new plates, we have built them. I have had some great success. You are still going to have to open the holes up in the bottom of the chassis, if you want, like say, to use an OS3 motor. An OS3 motor does spin in this top plate. We did that on purpose. There were some, would do it or not do it. I don't know if it's, some guys liked the idea, some guys didn't like the idea. It was definitely a 50-50 whether or not we should open that up naturally. So we opened it up. You'll still have to open up the bottom hole. To use the back hole, you may have to open that up as well, because that's a little tighter too. So if it feels like it's not lining up, I would still use, a 65 reamer in the 65 reamer in the back. Make sure you open that up just a little bit. But it is now usable. So anyway, that is the new top plates. They're awesome. They're lightweight. They should really work. And hopefully you'll buy yours soon. And if you have any questions, feel free to post the questions. We'll try and do the best we can to answer as much as we can. One thing I forgot to show was how well these line up. So as you can see, that's 34. I forgot to mention how well this lines up. As you can see, that's 34. So 34. And 734. So as you can see, it lines up very well from front to back.